Let me ask you something, and I want you to really sit with this question for a moment. When was the last time you woke up in the morning and felt absolutely, completely, 100% at peace? Not the kind of peace where you press snooze 17 times and pull the blanket over your head hoping the world disappears. I mean real peace. The kind that makes you step out of bed like you own the morning. The kind that makes you look at your to-do list and say, bring it on. The kind that makes traffic jams feel like a minor inconvenience instead of a personal attack from the universe. If you are nodding your head right now, or laughing a little because you cannot remember the last time that happened, you are in exactly the right place. Because today we are going to talk about something so ancient, so powerful, and so wildly underestimated that people have been sleeping on it for literally thousands of years. And I mean that both literally and figuratively. We are going to talk about Psalm 91. And no, I am not here to give you a dry, dusty, put-you-to-sleep church sermon. I am here to tell you that this psalm, this ancient declaration, is the single most powerful spiritual tool you can use to transform your mornings, and by extension, your entire life. It is the key, the master key to fearless living. And if you stick with me today, you are going to walk away with something that can change everything. Now, before we dive in, let me just acknowledge something. Life is hard. I know, you know, we all know, and I am not going to stand here and pretend otherwise with a big fake smile on my face. The world has a way of throwing things at us that we absolutely did not sign up for. You wake up and your phone is already buzzing with problems. The news is terrifying. Your bills are doing that thing where they multiply like rabbits. Somebody at work is getting on your very last nerve. Your body feels like it aged 10 years overnight. Your mind is running 100 miles an hour before you even brush your teeth. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, someone told you to be positive, to think good thoughts, to manifest your best life. And you smiled politely and thought to yourself, sure, right after I survive this Tuesday. I see you. I really do. And here is what I want you to know. The fact that you feel overwhelmed does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you lack faith. It does not mean you are failing. It means you are human. It means you are someone who cares deeply about your life, about your family, about your future. And that caring, that deep aching desire to live with more peace and more purpose and more power, that is not your problem. That is your greatest asset. That is the seed of everything that is about to change for you. So let us talk about fear, because fear is the real enemy here, not the fear of spiders or horror movies, although those are valid too. I am talking about the chronic, low-grade, background noise kind of fear that most of us have gotten so used to that we stopped even noticing it. The fear of not being enough, the fear of something going wrong, the fear of the unknown, the fear that this, whatever this is right now, is as good as it gets. Here is the thing about fear that nobody tells you in the self-help books. Fear is not just an emotion. It is a frequency. It is a vibration. It is a lens through which you begin to see and interpret everything in your world. When you operate from a place of fear, even the good things start to look suspicious. Even blessings start to feel like setups. You get a good day, and instead of enjoying it, part of you is bracing for whatever comes next. Scientists have actually studied this. They call it hypervigilance. When the nervous system is chronically activated by stress and anxiety, the brain literally rewires itself to scan for danger. Everything becomes a potential threat. And here is what that does to your life. It drains your energy, narrows your creativity, destroys your joy, and keeps you spinning in cycles of anxiety and exhaustion. You are not lazy. You are not unmotivated. You are not just a negative person. You are running a very expensive internal alarm system that never turns off, and it is costing you dearly. Now here is where Psalm 91 comes in, and I want you to lean in right here, because this is the part that changed everything for me. Psalm 91 is not just a poem. It is not just a religious text. It is a declaration of truth. It is a spiritual technology. It is a consciousness-altering, frequency-shifting, soul-settling powerhouse of divine promise. And when you begin your day with it, not just reading it passively the way you scroll through your phone, but declaring it, anchoring yourself in it, living it, something shifts, something in you settles, something in the universe responds. Let us actually look at this thing. Psalm 91 opens with these words: "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In Him I will trust." Stop. Just stop right there. Before we even get to the promises, look at the posture. Dwelling, abiding, saying. These are active, intentional, present tense decisions. Not "I hope God protects me." Not "if things go well, I will trust." It is "I will." It is a declaration. It is you stepping into your power and claiming your inheritance. And then it goes on. "Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day. 1,000 shall fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you." Now, I want to pause here because this passage gets misunderstood a lot. People read this and think, great, so nothing bad will ever happen to me. And then when something hard does happen, they throw the whole thing out the window. That is not what this is saying. What this is saying, and pay close attention, is that when you dwell in alignment with divine truth, when you make your home in the consciousness of divine love and power and wisdom, you are protected not from life, but in life. There is a difference, a massive difference. Think of it this way. A soldier does not go to war without armor. The armor does not mean bullets will never fly. It means the bullets cannot penetrate. Psalm 91 is your spiritual armor. When you put it on at the beginning of your day, you are not pretending the world is perfect. You are declaring that you are equipped for whatever the world brings. You are declaring that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. You are standing up on the inside before you ever face a single challenge on the outside. And this is the key to fearless living. Fearless living does not mean you never feel afraid. Let me say that again because it is important. Fearless living does not mean you never feel afraid. Fearless living means you have something bigger than the fear to anchor yourself to. It means that when the storm comes, and storms will come, you are not swept away. You are the person standing in the middle of the chaos saying, "I know who I am, I know whose I am, and I know where my help comes from." Now let me tell you what starting your day with Psalm 91 actually does, practically, physiologically, spiritually. Because I am not just speaking in poetry here, this is real. When you begin your morning by speaking truth over your life, you are doing something that neuroscientists call setting your reticular activating system. That is the part of your brain that acts like a filter, deciding what information to bring to your attention. When you begin the day in fear, scrolling bad news, rehearsing your worries, dreading your schedule, you are essentially telling your brain, look for danger, look for problems, look for evidence that things are going wrong. And your brilliant, obedient brain will do exactly that all day long. But when you begin the day declaring, "I dwell in the secret place of the Most High, I abide under the shadow of the Almighty," you are setting your filter to something entirely different. You are telling your brain, look for evidence of protection. Look for evidence of grace. Look for doors opening. Look for help appearing. Look for miracles in ordinary moments. And guess what? Your brilliant, obedient brain does exactly that too. This is not wishful thinking. This is how human consciousness works. What you declare in the morning becomes the lens through which you interpret everything that follows. And the extraordinary thing about Psalm 91 is that it is not just a positive affirmation someone made up. It is ancient divine truth. It carries weight. It carries history. It carries the testimony of millions of people across thousands of years who clung to these words in their darkest moments and found they were not alone. There is a story I love, and it illustrates this so perfectly. During times of tremendous hardship and suffering, ordinary people found themselves holding onto this psalm like a lifeline. Not because it took away their circumstances, but because it reminded them of something the circumstances could not touch. Their divine connection, their inner fortress. The truth that they were held by something greater than whatever was trying to break them. And that is available to you, right now, today, on your worst Tuesday, on the morning when everything feels impossible, on the day when you are so tired you cannot imagine doing it again. Psalm 91 is there, like a hand extended in the darkness saying, take hold of this. Let us talk about the practical side of this, because I know some of you are practical people. You want to know, okay, that sounds lovely, but how do I actually do this? What does this look like in my real life at 6 in the morning when I have 17 things to do and a toddler screaming and coffee that is somehow both too hot and cold at the same time? Here is the beautiful thing. This does not have to be complicated. Fearless living is not reserved for people with quiet mountain retreats and 2 hours of uninterrupted morning time. It is for real people with real lives and real chaos. Here is what it looks like. First, before you reach for your phone in the morning, and I know that is the first thing most of us do, before you let the world in, give yourself just 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You can do 5 minutes. Sit up, take a breath, and speak Psalm 91. You can read it. You can say it from memory over time. You can have it on an index card on your nightstand. The method matters far less than the decision. You are choosing, before anything else grabs your attention, to orient yourself toward divine truth. Second, do not rush through it. This is not a race. This is not a box to check. Read it slowly. Let the words land. When you say, "No evil shall befall you, neither shall any plague come near your dwelling," actually feel that. Receive it. Let it settle into your bones. The difference between mechanically reading something and actually receiving it is the difference between looking at a meal and eating it. One does nothing for your hunger. The other nourishes you. Third, after you have read or declared Psalm 91, take just a moment to be still. 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Let the truth you just spoke have a moment to take root before you launch into your day. This is where the shift happens. This is where something in your spirit settles. This is where you go from reactive to intentional, from scattered to centered, from anxious to anchored. And then, and this is my favorite part, go into your day expecting good things, not naively, not with your eyes closed, but with an expectation rooted in divine promise. When you do this, I promise you, you will begin to notice things you missed before. The way things work out at the last minute, the unexpected kindness of a stranger, the solution that appeared out of nowhere, the door that opened when you were sure it was locked. These things were always happening, but you could not see them because fear had your attention. Psalm 91 turns your attention back to grace. Now I want to talk about one more thing before we get to the close, because I think it is the most important thing. Fearless living is not about having no enemies. It is not about never facing opposition. Look at Psalm 91 again. It talks about the terror by night, the arrow by day, the pestilence, the destruction. It acknowledges that these things exist. It does not pretend the world is without danger. What Psalm 91 gives you is not a life without warfare. It gives you a life where the warfare does not win, because you have built your home in a place that cannot be shaken. You have made your dwelling in divine consciousness. And from that place, you are not afraid of what comes at you, because you know something the fear does not want you to know. You are not fighting alone. You have never been fighting alone. The angels that Psalm 91 speaks about, the ones given charge over you to keep you in all your ways, those are not mythological. That is the universe's response to a soul that has made its home in divine truth. When you align yourself with the Most High, the resources of heaven come to your aid. Help appears in forms you could not have engineered. Provision comes from directions you never anticipated. Restoration happens in ways that defy human logic. I have seen it happen over and over again, in my own life, in the lives of people I have known, in the lives of people throughout history who dared to declare, "God is my refuge, God is my fortress, in Him I will trust." And the most remarkable thing is this: Psalm 91 ends with a direct word from the divine. "With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation." Not maybe, not if you are good enough, not if you earn it. Long life and salvation, wholeness and fulfillment. This is the covenant, this is the promise, and it is for you. So here is your call to action today. And I want you to actually do this. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Tonight, before you go to bed, find Psalm 91. Write it out, print it out, pull it up on your phone. Do whatever works for you, and put it somewhere you will see it first thing in the morning. Tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, before your feet even hit the floor if possible, read it out loud. Yes, out loud. There is power in the spoken word. There is something that happens when you hear yourself speak truth that does not happen when you simply think it. And as you read it, substitute your name if it helps. He who dwells in the secret place, that is me. No evil shall befall me. 1,000 may fall at my side, but it shall not come near me. Make it personal. Make it yours, because it is yours. Then I want you to come back here and tell me what happened. Tell me how your day went. Tell me what you noticed. Tell me what shifted. Because I believe something is going to shift, and I want to hear about it. Here is what I know about you, even though I have never met you. You did not click on this video by accident. You found this today because something in you is ready. Ready to stop living in the shadow of fear. Ready to step into the fullness of what was always meant for you. Ready to begin your mornings with power instead of panic. Ready to face your life from a place of divine alignment. The world tries so hard to make us forget who we are. It floods us with noise and bad news and comparison and anxiety, and we get so tired, so worn down, that we forget that we were made for more than mere survival. We were made to thrive. We were made to flourish. We were made to dwell in the secret place and walk through this world with our heads held high and our hearts at peace. Psalm 91 is your reminder. It is a daily recalibration. It is the thing you say when everything in the world is shouting fear at you, and you choose to shout back with truth, because the truth is stronger. It has always been stronger, and it is yours for the speaking. Start your day with Psalm 91. Do it tomorrow. Do it the day after. Do it until it becomes as natural as breathing. Do it until you cannot imagine starting your morning any other way. Do it until fearless living is not something you aspire to, but something you actually live. Because that day is coming, and it begins with a decision. One morning, one declaration, one choice to dwell in the secret place and let the Almighty have the rest. You have got this. You really do. And the universe is conspiring in your favor in ways that you cannot even see yet. Now go. Be fearless, and I will see you in the next video. If this message touched something in you today, do me a favor and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe if you have not already, because we are just getting started. Leave a comment below and tell me what Psalm 91 verse means the most to you, because I read every single one of them. And remember, your morning sets the tone for your entire life. So choose it wisely. Choose truth. Choose peace. Choose the secret place. Always. God bless you. Now go have a fearless day.